everyone, and welcome back to the Colour Cave, where we like to play with art stuff. My name is Jem, and today we are going to be unboxing the September Scrawlrbox, which is a pretty fat box this month. Look, it's kind of like bulging there. I'm really excited a little bit. This is the monthly art subscription box from here in the UK. And they've got a pretty settled and standard format for these boxes. You pay a little bit of money every month. They give you a curated set of supplies. And the idea to explore these supplies is that you create an artwork to a prompt that they also provide for you. Now, for a little bit of inspiration and help along the way, they also have a featured artist who has used said mediums within the box. And also there's a little magazine with lots of hints and tips just to help you along your merry arty way as well. So let's get stuck in. We will be road testing these products today. I will be doing the Scrawler Challenge as a separate video in about a week's time. I do alternate doing this with the upgrade, and it's just really to give me a chance to enjoy the box and not have to spit out a prompt straight after I've unboxed things, so, you know, keep a little bit of joy for myself. So let's put these supplies through their paces today. Ooh, oh, everything's in really neat and tidy in the box this time. Love it when that happens. Okay, so first things first, here is our featured artist. This is lovely. The first thing that I see, which is really funny, is he's got a magazine at his feet and it's got a lady with her boobies out. Simple things. Yeah, I really like this. This is a very distinctive style. There's a lot of texture in what looks like ink here. Must be pens. And this is T. Jurizic, illustrator, muralist and founder of Kavar Illustration Studio. So we've got some Instagram and website information down at the bottom here for you as well if you want to check out more of their work, which yeah, definitely is very quirky, very whimsical. I like it. Like that a lot. Okay, here is our Scrawler zine. So this is the little magazine that gives you some information and bits and pieces to help you along your journey, as well as just some really cool stuff to look at, which I always like in paper form better than on screens, but that's just me. The paper that we've got, and I'm glad to see we're sticking with this tradition now, this sort of trend of giving you actual pads of paper. This is very helpful. And Scrawlrbox seem to have developed quite a good relationship with Frisk this last little while. So they're, I don't want to use the phrase they're in bed together because that implies something negative, but they've obviously got a good working relationship. This paper is made in the UK, and we have 10 sheets of 180 GSM smooth cartridge paper. I love that they've put in ideal for drawing and scrawling with pens, markers, pencils and much more. There is a wee bit of texture in the paper, which is good because that means if we use pencil on it, it's going to be good, but I know it's not pencil, this is an ink box, so come on, you don't have to kid yourself on. The paper's slightly off-white. It seems nice, it feels like nice paper, and I'm a bit of a paper snob, so right, let's have a little look in the bag of goodies now. So at the top here we have got our, oh, this is lovely. We've got our sticker. They're not letting me play the jigsaw game anymore because it's shrunken and down versions of the featured artwork. It spoils my jigsaw game. Come on, Scrawlrbox, what are you trying to do to me? Oh, look! It's a pencil. What can I say? It's a graphite pencil. Sticker available in the stash shop. Here is the address to go to. Also, I will have the Spectra AD alcohol markers that came in another subscription box. They should be in the stash shop today, so if you want to grab them real cheap, you better get your backside over here now and go and snaffle them up and grab yourself an It's a Pencil sticker while you're at it. Okay, shameless plug over. This is a Lyra pencil. It's a 3B. Oh, I do like a 3B. I might have to rescind my It's a Pencil. So a reasonably soft pencil, good for shading, that kind of thing. I haven't had a Lyra Robinson pencil before. I kind of like the fact that it's blue and it's got a red end on it. That makes me happy for some weird reason. Doesn't feel cheap and nasty, which is my main concern with graphite pencils, but I am a total graphite tart, so yeah, add it to the collection. Let's go. I always forget in the Scrawlrbox we get a sweet. We've got a sour belt. These are amazing. They're not amazing for your teeth, but they're pretty good fun. Oh, a Derwent Technique eraser. Oh, this looks like it looks like a. Do you know the Turkish Delight? You get the powdery Turkish Delight. That's what this looks like. Never seen one of these before. High performance non-abrasive erasing. Okay, we'll test it out. We'll be the judge of that. And we've got a set of Faber-Castell Pitt Pen dual markers. Now, these are twin tip markers. These are not normal Pitt pens. This is, I don't know whether I'm supposed to get excited about this or not, because I really don't get excited about inky things, but... And I can't get them out of the box. While I'm trying to get into this, I've just noticed something on the side here. They've got a sort of star rating for light fastness here. Come on, autofocus, you can do it. And 1 star is reasonable light fastness. That's the worst light fast scale I've ever seen. 2 is high light fastness and 3 is maximum light fastness. So apparently the pens that we're getting in this set are like as light fast as we're going to get. So that's good information to know. The other reason why I couldn't get it out there is the bit in here. This is sticky. No wonder I couldn't get it out. Anyway, right, I digress. God, I'm easily distracted. I haven't touched my tea either. I've been trying to drink a cup of tea for about half an hour. So we've got this cute little box, right? Oh, look. And here are here's the little leaflet that comes with them. We don't want that. Okay, these remind me of, these are the same casings that the Albrecht Dürer watercolour pen marker things came in. Same marker casing. Orange Glaze, which weirdly is one of my more favoured Polychromos pencils, obviously same range. Oh, look at that. That looks nice. Is this a brush tip? Oh, it is. It's quite a firm brush tip, but it's a brush tip. Oh, that makes me happy. Right, okie dokie. Instantly happier with a brush tip. And this end is like it's like a big fine liner. It's like a chunky fine liner. That's pretty cool. Okay, I think I can get on board with this. So when I just, if I come back here to the featured artist, all this little dot work here, that's been done with that end of that pen. It all makes sense now. This is cool. I like this. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 colours, and I am familiar with all of these colours because that's one thing I really like about Faber-Castell is they keep the colours the same across all their different ranges of things. So we've got leaf green, dark sepia, ultramarine, deep scarlet red and orange glaze as mentioned before. So quite an interesting set of colours here as well. Quite nice variation, and we've got some contrast, which I always like. So yeah, this is actually a really nice little set. I like this. So there we go. And I would wager that these are quite expensive as well because Faber-Castell stuff tends to be expensive and markers tend to be expensive. But there we go. That is the contents of our box. So let's take a look at the supply list really quickly and see what we can learn. Let's zoom in a bit because I know some of you like to read on your own, don't you? You don't necessarily want to listen to me rattling on. The Pitt pens ×5. Everyone has the same colours. These high quality Pitt Artist dual markers come with a versatile broad brush nib to cover large areas and a 0.8, so yeah, quite a thick fine liner nib for more detailed drawings and outlines, making these ideal for vast coverage and detailed illustration. So they're quite flexible. I quite like that about this. I'm enjoying that aspect. Pigmented water-based India ink, acid-free, pH neutral, which becomes permanent once dry, and that's always been the appeal of the Pitt pens. They have a transparent finish, making them perfect for building and layering for more intensity, and have unsurpassed light fastness, and the individual colours are marked with an asterisk-based code, which we have already explored. Get this, guys, recommended retail price, £24.99 a set, 25 quid, so it's basically a £5 a pen. That is expensive. Holy freaking Moses, that's expensive. Lyra Robinson 3B graphite pencil, one of the oldest pencil brands, blah blah blah, hexagonal barrel. I didn't even notice that it was hexagonal. Do you know that? It's hexagonal, okay. It is hexagonal, good. Makes it easy to hold, comfortable grip, ideal for professional technical drawings. The 3B lead provides dark marks and a smoothness that allows the pencil to glide across the page. Recommended retail price, 50p. Frisk cartridge paper pad, 10 sheets, A5, smooth and white. Acid-free cartridge paper. So acid-free means that it won't yellow over time. Perfect for graphite and coloured pencil as well as markers and pastels. Recommended retail price £2.99, so reasonably priced paper as well. Good. The Technique eraser. Part of the Derwent Specialist Artist Collection, Technique eraser will fast become your go-to for erasing needs. Soft eraser lifts graphite particles off the paper with ease, also suitable for removing charcoal too. High performance, non-abrasive eraser made from non-toxic and latex-free ingredients. Recommended retail price £3.49 for an eraser. Wowee! Okie dokie. Me oh my. That's expensive. Before we test out some supplies, we can have a little look in our scrawler zine here, and we can try and get to grips with these fancy markers and see what we can do. So here's the overview of the supplies. Very nice. Sit down with the artist, Tia. I'm assuming it's pronounced Tia. And just asking some questions about arty things. I like this one here, if you had to choose pen or pencil. Correct answer is always pencil. Scrawler tips. So the thing I like about this is there's this little bit at the top here. It says, we realise that you may have never seen or used products like this before, so we have put together a few hints, tips and techniques to test out and get the best from these supplies. So we'll go through these really quickly. Compressing, building up layers for intensity, shading and tone. Avoid ink pooling by waiting for each layer to dry. You can mix the ink on a palette to create some brilliant colour mixtures and bright colour shades. That is really easy. See, when you've got that nice brush tip, that's really easy to do, and it is nice to mix colours. Washes, well, you've got a paintbrush handy, you can add a little water to blend the ink out for some delicate washes so you can dilute it out. I'm a big fan of using that as well. Because they're permanent once fully dry, you can draw or paint over them with wet mediums for mixed media work without interfering with the layer underneath. So even if you did a wash with one of them, as long as you let it dry, you could go back in with your pens and go on top of them, and nothing underneath will move. They'd be great for that. Ink can be smeared and smudged while wet to create textures. The dark sepia marker makes a lovely muted alternative to black for outlining your work. Yeah! Picked pens are best stored horizontally, as this keeps the pigment in the ink evenly distributed. Storing your pens vertically will cause the pigments to pool in the end of the pen that's facing down and can cause problems with ink flow. That's true of most twin tip markers. You generally want to store them horizontally. Okay, she likes it because she can cover big areas with the brush tip, but then obviously have the ability of detail with the fine liner. And she says, also mentions it's good if you like lettering as well, if you're into hand lettering. Scrawler Gallery for July 22. Was this the one with the inks? Yeah, this was the inks. I like this box. I had really good fun with this box. These are all so pretty. It's nice to see some familiar names here as well. Grace, I'm looking at you. Julie as well. Oh, yay! Yay! Excellent. Okay, there's a little bit in the Scrawler Extra about Faber-Castell. I've heard this story so many times, but it's nice that they've included it as well. And there's a little bit here on how the sort of reasoning behind creating the artwork, so that's really, really nice as well. Who wants to test out some supplies? I know I do. Fizzy belts, fizzy, can confirm. Ooh. Come on, Frisk paper, let's have you. Let's test out this really expensive eraser and this pencil first. Yeah, so 3B pencil, quite soft. Say a Gem favourite, and also a cave favourite, obviously. That's a good point. See, if it's a Gem favourite, does that automatically make it a cave favourite? Or is a cave favourite a combination of cavers that like an item and me liking an item? I'm not sure about that. Answers down underneath the video in the comment section, please. Let's see what this can do. So 3B, we should be able to get some fairly dark lines here, and I'm pleased to report that that's just going down beautifully, and it feels lovely on this paper. I really like this paper. Hi Frisk, I know you're listening. I really like this paper. And that's taken lots of layers. That is a pencil. I really like this pencil. Maybe I need to make that now. That is a pencil sticker. Look how dark that is for a 3B, but also look how delicate we can be with it as well. This is a really nice pencil. I'm really hoping that this is a really nice eraser as well. That'd be fabulous. I don't know what is wrong with me today. I just can't open things. Right, we've got do you see what I mean about it looking like a Turkish delight? Anywho's, I'm going to go straight through the middle here. Oh, right technique. Oh, look how little's coming off that. That is literally it. 2 little shavings, and look, it's absolutely just, even that really dark graphite, it's taken most of that away. It's quite a soft eraser as well. Like when I'm pressing it, it's giving quite a bit under my hand. Like, can you see me squishing it there? So it isn't like this horrible big rigid, you know, monster eraser. It's actually quite nice. I don't know if it's £3.49 nice. I dare say you would get that cheaper. Obviously, that's the recommended retail price. That's pretty good. Okay, I was really mashing that into the paper there, and that's still taking a lot of that away. Very clean and tidy eraser as well. Hardly leaves anything behind. Okay, you can buy a twin pack, which includes the artist eraser, which I'm pretty sure we had a month or 2 ago. And we can buy these combined for £5.79. So yeah, that's still really expensive for an eraser. I really like the slim erasers as well. We've had those too. They're £4.39 for two. Everything's so expensive. £7 plus £5 delivery. I'm going to have to get these in the cave, guys, and get them cheap for you. They are really expensive. Okay, right, point taken. Let's get down to business. Right, let's get the colour swatches on the go first and test out the brush nibs. Oh, look at the sepia. It's my favourite already. I love sepia. Now, I like that on the barrels here, there's a thick white line at the brush tip end. So even at a glance, it's fairly easy because both the caps are the same on either end. It looks like a really wonky magic wand. But look, these brush tips are nice. They're quite firm. So if you're not that well versed with a brush tip, you'll get on okay with these. The colours are so vibrant. And let's do the fine liner end now as well. Oh. I always want to call them fat liners or unfine liners or thick liners because I don't really feel that that's justified, to be honest. But yeah, I like, what can I say? The colour laydown is really good. The paper's taking this like a boss. Like the paper loves that brush tip, and I love the texture. And the way that like the ink sits on the paper, that's nice. Makes me want to make a pretty picture with it. So I suppose that's good. Especially when it comes to markers, because I'm usually like, markers are so boring. I'm just not into markers, guys. Somebody actually asked me that under another video, why I don't like markers. It's a combination of factors, and I just don't get excited about them the way I get excited about pencils. And I think as well, I suppose it's about art styles as well. I just feel that pencil lends itself better to the things that I like to draw and how I like to draw as well. I love these. Like, I love the look of the colours. They're just so nice. But now what we have to see is, there's not even any ghosting or anything, like there's no sign of those pens, but that was us being nice, wasn't it? This is the bad boy that's going to do the damage. So I would like to protect the paper that's underneath because I quite like this paper. I think I would like to draw on this paper in pencil at some point in my not too distant future. Just grabbing a little sheet of scrap paper. I'm going to pop this underneath to protect the next sheet down, and I'm going to give it yeehaw. Oh, look how... And let's see if we can do a couple of these. See, we'll let it dry. And we'll try layering up some... Oh, that's the wrong end. We'll try layering up some different colours on top of each other just to see what happens. And I'm just going to go and grab a little palette while I wait for this to dry. Here's Jem with all her really fancy equipment. An old IKEA plate, which is one of the best palettes I own, by the way. And a synthetic sea white paintbrush. I do sell these in the stash shop. They are fantabulous. I just feel like this deserves a big paintbrush today. And in the time that's taken me to go and get that, we're nearly dry, which is cool. So let's see what happens if I squish a bit of this on here. Like so. Oh, that's beautiful. So damp brush, not soaking brush. Ba 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 ba. Oh, look, we're making purple. Oh, look. How nice is that? So we can mix colours, no problem. But if I just add a little bit of water now, you can see I've diluted that down. And we can use it in a more painterly style as well. Very delicate, very nice. And once again, the paper seems quite happy with that, which is lovely. That's just good to know. This is dry now, so let's layer up some colours. Let's see what happens here. I want to see how dark we can get our sepia and how much the paper will take. So that's a second pass there. Now that looks almost black just now because it's wet. Okay, so you can see the transparency efforts here and how it's changing the colour underneath. Like, I'll zoom in a bit. Interesting. Okay, so if we're using a darker colour, we're kind of obliterating what's going on underneath. You can barely see that, or the line where the orange is. I can see it with the naked eye. It's not so easy to see on the camera. Also, just while we're here and while that's wet, I wonder what happens if we do this while it's wet on the paper. Oh, you can steal from it. That's what I call this. You can steal from it. So you can take some of the pigment, but the original lines will stay there. They will be there. They will not disappear, and you cannot make them go away, which is also fine. I wouldn't like to be dipping this into wet things very often. It's not really good for your markers. But if you're just going to do it in a fleeting passing by moment like that, I suppose you could do something with that. Okay, yeah, if you're going to use these in any capacity with water, I would highly recommend squeaking it out onto a palette first and doing it from there. It's not a good idea to be dipping these nibs in wet areas and water in general like that, because you will ruin your pens, and these are pretty expensive to be getting ruined. Oh, goodness me. Right, okay, so that is quite interesting. The second layer of this sepia is taking quite a while to dry, but you can see now here, you know, like with the likes of this lovely delicate purple colour, I could start just messing about with this, and you know, if I wanted to do something with it, I can work right down on top of that there, and that's just not going to go anywhere. Like I can do some pointillism like our featured artist. Oh, adottyspottycloud.com. So, yes, like these very much. Paper's holding up really well. I've chucked a fair bit of water at it now, not done anything, quite happy. So far, so good as well. If I just show you the double sepia-ing, which is this part here. Tiny bit of ghosting, absolutely nothing soaking through. Paper's still got its structural integrity for the moment, but we're going to change that in just a little minute. But overall, yeah, I really like these. I like the colour selection that we've got as well. I like the fact that we can water this stuff down, because that's one of my favourite things to do with markers, because anything that makes them not a marker makes it better in my book. Okay, the paper's starting to look a bit ropey now after 3. It's still not through the other side though. The paper looks as if it's starting to pill a little bit. Yeah, and that's me starting to take the surface of the paper off. 4 passes is your limit here on this here paper, if you're just going a hard marker. But you can see that it looks black from here, if you compare it to up here. Yep, absolutely. So you can layer this up for intensity. Again, if I just do that on top of that little section there, woohoo, you'll see what I'm talking about as well. I think you can get some quite interesting effects by layering these up as well, especially with the transparency. That's pretty good. Yeah, I like these markers. Again, this is one of these things where I think this is a really high quality product. I think they're very pretty, and they've been, you know, they've been given a little bit of thought in putting them together. Is this something that I would use regularly? No, it's really not, but that doesn't mean that they're not good, and I don't want people to not like them just because I've said that. I think these are lovely. The last thing to do before we call it a day for this video is to check out the prompt. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Fascinating folklore. Oh my lord, what am I going to do with this? Let's read this part up here. Curiouser and curiouser. This month's box is inspired by our featured artist's Balkan-inspired illustrations. From folklore tales to unique customs, we encourage you to take a deep dive into exploring the celebrated, bizarre, and sometimes dark traditions of your heritage. Oh! Play around with composition patterns and mix up your mark to tell your tales and your creations. Okay, this is quite interesting for me on a personal level, because I am of mixed heritage. I have obviously Scottish heritage, but I also have Italian lineage as well. So I think that maybe I should embrace that when it comes to thinking about something to do for the Scrawler challenge here. I really like this prompt, and I think perhaps I might be able to do a good job with this with these supplies as well. So I'm going to have a little think about this for a couple of days. When I do these videos separately, the Scrawler challenge is normally about a week after the unboxing video, so I better get my thinking cap on, and I'm going to finish my cup of tea as well. I'll get there eventually. I would love to hear your thoughts on these supplies and the prompt as well. What's everyone's take on the prompt? Let me know down in the comments section. I want to thank you all very much for coming and hanging out. It's been great fun today. I've enjoyed myself here. So please stay safe and take care of each other. Remember to hit the like button if you've made it this far. And I will see you back in the cave on Sunday for another video. So have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye for now.